him as somebody who could position himself to be that QB2. And if he's not in that position, but he's playing well, we know that the reason that would be the case is because they don't want people clamoring for Shedeur Sanders prematurely.
Two giveaways really were the difference there in that first half, because I thought we were doing some really good things, but then we got that takeaway, had a takeaway negated by an offside.
Gabriel was not better than Shedeur Sanders in minicamp when the rookies was there. He was not better at minicamp or training camp when the veterans was there. He did not perform better than him during the game he was in. And it's time out for people with the...
Kevin Stefanski has finally thrown in the towel. It's now obvious he's lost faith in Dillon Gabriel. After another sloppy performance, Stefanski didn't hold back. He flat out admitted Gabriel's play wasn't anywhere near good enough. He even went so far as to blast Dillon for making some of the worst decisions of the entire game, especially during that disastrous second quarter. These weren't just minor mistakes, they were momentum-killing blunders that left fans fuming and teammates looking shaken. This feels like a breaking point, because when a head coach publicly calls out his own quarterback like this, it shows just how ugly the situation has become.
Very good so far. And this one is picked off and going back the other way. The Eagles, Andrew Makuba. A pick six the other way.
After watching the game play out, it became painfully clear why Shedeur Sanders is the better option. Dillon Gabriel struggled from the very first snap to the final whistle. No touchdowns, no explosive completions, and wasted chances even with the full backing of the first-team defense. His blunders didn't just kill drives, they handed momentum straight to the other team. And still, instead of admitting how badly he played, Gabriel acted like he was running the show, even taking a cheap shot at Shedeur Sanders by dismissing him as nothing more than an entertainer instead of a real competitor. That kind of arrogance, especially after such a train wreck performance, raises real doubts about his mindset and whether he actually deserves to lead this team. Reggie Bush didn't sugarcoat a thing. He blasted Dillon Gabriel's comments as not just unnecessary, but flat-out reckless. For a quarterback who's been hyped up as having Skynet-level processing, the vision to read defenses instantly, and the ice-cold precision of a Terminator, Gabriel's actions didn't even come close to matching the hype. Instead of proving himself against real competition on the field, he decided to take shots at Shedeur Sanders, and in doing so, he lit a fire with Sanders' massive and fiercely loyal fan base.
When it comes to being a supercomputer, he was only second to Skynet in the Terminator series. He is now capable of sending Terminators backwards and forward through time, waging a war with the Shedeur Sanders fans.
But here's the truth. This whole controversy traces straight back to Kevin Stefanski. From the very first day of training camp, he's been blatantly unfair to Shedeur Sanders. Even when Sanders flashed moments of brilliance, Stefanski flat out refused to give him first-team reps, leaving him on the sidelines while others got their chances. After that opening game, when fans were buzzing about Shedeur's potential, Stefanski didn't back down, he doubled down. He made it clear Sanders wasn't touching the field, and his words couldn't have been more blunt. Stefanski claimed his focus was on developing everyone, not just Shedeur, but the way he said it sounded more like an excuse to bury Sanders on the depth chart. And that's exactly where the controversy exploded. Now let's hear his words for ourselves.
Yeah, pleased with Shedeur, pleased with the offense. Again, not perfect, plenty that we can work on, but I thought the guys did a really nice job of Shedeur and operating, the guys making plays, so again, a ton to teach off of.
And if Stefanski's earlier comments weren't already sparking controversy, the latest reports just blew the lid off. Word is, Kevin Stefanski has no plans to even consider Shedeur Sanders in the team's future. For fans, this is beyond shocking. After all the hype, all the flashes of star potential, and the energy Shedeur has injected into the franchise, Stefanski still isn't buying him as the guy who can deliver. That's not just a gut punch to Sanders' confidence, it's a slap in the face to a fan base that's been begging to see him take control. So what does this really mean for Shedeur and the Browns? If the head coach himself doesn't believe he can lead, it plants a dark cloud of doubt over Sanders' future with the team. And if that seed of doubt keeps growing, it could mark the beginning of a completely different path for both Shedeur and the Browns. All signs point to one ugly reality. Kevin Stefanski has been doing everything possible to kill the momentum around Shedeur Sanders. Reports even claimed Stefanski was the one spreading a false story that Shedeur had suffered an injury. That's when Stephen A. Smith stepped in and refused to let it slide. He publicly called out Stefanski, flat out accusing him of fabricating the entire Shedeur Sanders is injured narrative. Stephen argued this wasn't about protecting a young quarterback at all. It was about creating a convenient cover to keep Sanders glued to the bench without sparking an all-out fan revolt. The sudden chatter about an oblique injury came completely out of nowhere. And Stephen A. Smith made it crystal clear. He believed it was nothing but a smokescreen, a carefully crafted cover-up to keep Shedeur Sanders buried on the depth chart. Stephen A. pointed directly at the depth chart as his smoking gun, saying it proved everything. To him, it was obvious the Browns never had any real intention of letting Shedeur climb the ladder. If Sanders had been allowed to build on the momentum from his earlier performance, there'd be no way to justify keeping him on the bench. But instead, right as key roster decisions were coming up, this mysterious injury story suddenly appeared, perfectly timed to knock him out of contention without triggering a bigger fan uprising.
And that comes with going up against competition. Of course, second and third units and all of that stuff come into play. When you're the reigning defending Super Bowl champions, had he shown up this weekend and balled out again, playing 45 or more snaps like he did in the first game and putting up similar, if not better numbers, I think that would have boded very, very well for him.
And if things keep spiraling like this, the Browns won't just be facing a quarterback problem, they'll be staring at a full-blown crisis. Fans are already losing patience, and unless Stefanski makes a real change, the noise around Shedeur Sanders will only get louder. One thing's for sure, this story is far from over, and we'll be here breaking it all down. So if you don't want to miss the latest updates, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe right now, because the drama in Cleveland is just getting started.